Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, one of the best ways that we can support the Ukrainian people and President Zelensky by extension is by ensuring that we have a steady supply of American energy and that we're supplying our allies in Eastern Europe. This will also deny Putin of a major revenue stream. Alarmingly, U.S. oil imports from Russia reached an 11-year high in 2021, accounting for more than 10% of the total U.S. crude oil and petroleum product imports. Here to explain why that should concern all Americans is my good friend, my mentor, ranking member of the Rules Committee, Tom Cole, and I yield him 3 minutes.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my friend from Pennsylvania for yielding. It's imperative that we defeat the previous question so that we can bring up the American Energy Independence from Russia Act for immediate consideration. Mr. Speaker, last week, Vladimir Putin sent shockwaves around the world by launching a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Though much of the planet has rallied to support Ukraine in their heroic defense, Putin has begun to use his most potent weapon to threaten Western democracies. That weapon is dependence of much of the world on Russian oil and gas. Not even the United States is immune from this national security threat. In 2021, according to the American fuel and petrochemical manufacturers, the United States imported an average of 209,000 barrels of crude oil per day and 500,000 barrels per day of other petroleum products from Russia. It's unconscionable that we are still this reliant on imports from authoritarian countries like Russia. This reliance on bad actors for our energy supply needs poses a clear and present danger to the security of the United States, just as it poses a threat to the security of Western and Central Europe. At any time, Vladimir Putin could choose to retaliate on dozens of countries that have imposed sanctions on him and his regime by simply turning off the spigot. Gas prices in the United States will undoubtedly increase even more than they currently are, and much of Europe would be plunged into the cold and the depths of winter. That's a potent leverage for a dictator like Putin to have. We must counter this by restoring America's energy independence and helping our friends and allies to do the same. Unfortunately, when President Biden took office, he immediately took steps that ultimately harmed America's energy independence and made us more reliant on foreign energy imports. That included his decisions to cancel the Keystone XL pipeline, which was expected to transport 830,000 barrels of oil every day, and his decision to impose a moratorium on new oil and gas leasing on federal lands, including in my home state of Oklahoma. President Biden's actions have made America less energy secure and more vulnerable to foreign threats. That's why we need the American Energy Independence from Russia Act more than ever. This bill would immediately approve the Keystone XL pipeline, would restart oil and gas leasing on federal lands and waters, and would expand liquid natural gas exports at a time when Europe needs them the most. It would ensure an all-of-the-above energy policy that paves the way for American energy independence, and it would rightly end the ongoing vilification of America's oil and gas industry. Mr. Speaker, this bill is simply common sense. With one bill, we can open up new sources of energy, we can reduce or eliminate imports of foreign sources of energy, and above all, by advancing this bill, we can improve the security of the United States and weaken Vladimir Putin's most potent weapon in one fell swoop. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.